أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين. الرحمن الرحيم. مالك يوم الدين. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين. اهدنا الصراط المستقيم. صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. آمين. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. Thanks everybody here. May Allah bless our consulate, what he did for here. May Allah bless of everybody here.
Thank you, Imam. We'll start with continue with the Pledge of Allegiance. So, on behalf of one of our youth, to lead us in the pledge, Brian Pirash. Thank you guys.
Assalamu alaikum. Good evening, everyone. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
On behalf of the leadership of Masjid Ar-Rahman, I'm the Imam and all members. I want to welcome everyone here tonight. In terms of, I'm not sure if everyone knows me, but I'm Mo or Mahmoud Ishmael, trustee of Masjid Ar-Rahman, the executive of the Community Board Turkey, treasurer, and president of the Queens for the Civic Association. So tonight I'll be sharing this function. And why are we doing this function? We are doing to appreciate the show our appreciation to the Councilman Daneek. As you know, his 8-year his term limit is finished at the end of December. And over the years, Masjid Ar-Rahman worked with him and his staff. And we really want to thank his staff for all the hard work we did with the staff. I know I'm not familiar with all of them. The one that we developed a lot with was Ali. He's not here tonight, but Councilman, I really want to thank you and your staff. Over the years we have done through his office, the operation of his office, we did COVID vaccine. Well, we started COVID testing, COVID vaccine. We did various food programs. Currently, we are doing every other Thursday, every 2 weeks. On Thursday, we do a food distribution. So we pass the word around. We to all the neighbors and anyone in need. So every Thursday, around 4 o'clock, 3 o'clock, we're here distributing food. We want to thank the Congressman Councilman for his help in establishing that. Also, over the years, we together with him at Senator Company, we built this building, but we had you got to go through the bureaucracy, and sometimes you have to call request their assistance. Not that we need a favor, but sometimes they help to speed up the bureaucracy, and we really want to thank you for that. So also I want to welcome, so our honoree is here, so we want to welcome him. I want to also welcome our senators, Senator Comrie. We want to also welcome Assemblyman Clyde Donnell. We want to the commanding officer of the South, Chief Ruben Malcolm. Also, we want to welcome the captain. I'll actually call him up. Please come up and take a seat here. He's the captain of the one precinct. And also, we have a member of the Queensville Civic. I know I expect member from the Wayanda Civic. They should be here. Also, we have among us, during on Veterans Day, we have I work with Senator Comrie we have a veteran, a very distinguished veteran within our community. Senator had nominated him to the, and he was appointed into the Veteran Hall of Fame, New York State Hall of Fame. And his name is Rick Sample. I have one of my boss here. He's the chairman of the Community Board Turkey, Brian Clark. We have a lot of guests and a lot of we have the IGNA Relief here. We want to thank them for all the work they're doing. We have Mohammed Hat from the Queen's Borough President's Office, and we have also Shafi Ramjan. I know he works with the Councilman on the parks, on Roy Wilkins Park, on the board. So he's here. And so we have, I can't leave my wife out, she's here. So I want to welcome everyone, and we'll have a few, give a speech. We'll thank the councilman. We have a few people, distinguished people, to give a speech. Obviously, we'll start with Assassin Senchip. Welcome. Senchip she's the president of the Wayanda Civic. Our first speaker will be Imam Dr. Sheikh Rafiq. He's the head of the Caribbean Islamic Council and principal of the Islamic School. Sheikh.
الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين رضوان الله عليهم إلى يوم الدين أما بعد السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
وعليكم السلام.
Our guests of our faith, may the guidance of God Almighty be with you and with us all. Thank you, Brother Muhammad, for this opportunity. I want to join with our MC in welcoming everyone here this evening on behalf of Masjid Ar-Rahman. We are here tonight to honor a great son of this land, a great son of New York, our Councilman Daneek Miller. You know, we are told as Muslims that we need to show appreciation and be thankful to people who have done good for us. If we can show appreciation and show and give thanks to those whom we see on a daily basis, people whom we interact with, people who have made a difference in our lives, then it will be difficult for us to show thanks and to show appreciation to the one who created us, the one who has blessed us with everything that we have, our Lord, and as we say as Muslims, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Brother Daneek, you have done well, and you have really made us proud in terms of the resources that you have brought to our community. And I remember having interaction with you on many occasions, and you were always willing to listen and to see whatever you can do for our community. You have not only serviced the Muslim community, but you have serviced the community of New York in general. And we want to thank you for that. You know, our Prophet, peace be upon him, he said that the master of people is the one who serves them. And this is what you have done. You have served people. Each one of us, we have, you know, our own, our families, our children, we have our brothers, our sisters, we have our own obligations. But we are being told in the Quran that there are a special category of people. Our Lord, he says in the Quran, وَيُؤْثِرُونَ عَلَىٰ أَنفُسِهِمْ وَلَوْ كَانَ بِهِمْ خَصَاصَةٌ, that they give preference to others, even though they themselves are in need. In terms of, you need a time for your family, you need a time for other things. But here we have our brother Daneek Miller sacrificing other things for the people of his community, sacrificing other things to bring resources. You need your sleep. You need your time to spend with your spouse, your children, but you give that up for people, to service people. And that's what we are being told in the Quran. You are a special category of people where you give preference to others over yourselves. And this is what Daneek has done in the years that he has served in the city council. You know, my brother, it is said by our Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, that the most loved of us is the one who is most beneficial to the creation of God. Wow. And this is what you did. You brought benefit to other people. And here tonight, we have assembled to show our appreciation to you. Continue to do the good work that you have done, and we hope that whatever aspirations that you have, whatever the future endeavors are, that it will include us, that you will continue to be of service to all of us. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, our next, I want to welcome Councilman Barry Malachic. You want to come up here? You want to sit in the center? Please sit in the center. So our next speaker would be Senator Conway. Senator Conway is a long-time friend of Masjid Ar-Rahman. He's been here numerous times, so it's no stranger to us.
Thank you, Mo. Good evening, everyone. First, I want to apologize to all of the members of the mosque for not being able to come around and shake their hands personally on fighting something, so I don't want to spread it and hurt my hip, so I can't. It would have been embarrassing for me to go up and down on the stage, but Councilmember knows that, so I'm in recovery, so I just want to apologize for and then I just want to acknowledge the passing of a good member. I couldn't get on the Zoom the other night. Muhammad Azim Salim, who passed away, who was a good member here, a person that worked, that didn't talk, a person that you could depend on. So I just want to acknowledge his passing. Colonel Temple, it's good to meet you in person. Congratulations on being nominated for the Federal Hall of Fame. Your service for yourself and your commitment to our country and your entire family's continued commitment to our country is something to really be celebrated. So thank you. So good evening, everyone. We are here to celebrate my brother, my council member, my friend, and Councilmember Isaac Miller, and what he has done for this community. And, term limits, I never supported term limits. This is another reason why I don't like term limits, because just as he was getting in his prime, getting an ability to get things done, now we gotta go train somebody else next year. And we have to do that together to make sure that that person understands the needs of this wonderful edifice, this beautiful edifice that is here. You should give yourselves a round of applause for having the fortitude and compassion to make this happen, to turn this from a used car garage or a repair shop into the beautiful building that it is. To understand and have that vision to do that, you should never discount the power of collective power, which is what the Masjid has done to make this happen. So again, congratulations to all of you. I'm glad that played a role in making that happen, but trying to grease the wheel and make bureaucracy happen so that it could happen. But just a few words about Councilmember Miller. When I first had the honor of saying that this is all my fault that he's councilman. He was doing well as the president of the bus union of transportation. He already knew legislation. He already knew how to go to Albany. He already knew how to go to city council. He liked to engage people. He was making a lot more money than the city council salary was, but I was able to convince him that he would be able to impact more people in his position as city council member, that he would be able to create opportunities to make legislation for the Muslim community. Among the things that he has done, they able to create legislation and change the city. And as soon as he heard that and started understanding what he could do, he took it and ran with it in a whole wonderful direction. He's been a wonderful council member, truly expanding my legacy, the things my time in office, truly expanding and improving the way that the city brings money to our community. Truly expanding the legislation, making sure that the Muslim community was respected in New York City Council legislation, in New York City Council budget, in the fabric of what happens with bureaucracy in the city. Councilmember Miller was a big part of making that happen, and a major part in creating the opportunities to expand the respect to the Muslim community from city government. I think he deserves a round of applause. And making sure that the jobs that happen, the major contracts that happen in the district that were developed by groups that were from the city, that were developed by MWBE groups, that were developed by people that had a locally based opportunity to provide jobs. He was able to expand that. Right now we have 7 projects in the downtown Jamaica area that are being built, affordable housing projects that are being built by minority developers, not contractors, developers, owners, people that actually own the property, people that are building the property, and people that are building wonderful housing in the downtown Jamaica area. That's through his effort, because he pushed the city to do more to make sure that the subsidies were proper so that we could get the rates. So right now, a parent came up to me on Saturday, hugging me like, I took the credit too, brother. I took the credit, came up to me, hugging me, because their daughter got into the mobile building at 168 and Archer Avenue, a 2-bedroom apartment for $1,050 a month. And you tell me where you find that rent here in South East Queens. And that's due to the efforts of Councilmember Daneek No. So he seems to be what I can tell you also is that Councilmember Miller's a humble brother. He's a brother that likes to engage. We'll go to an event and start talking to people, and I'll circle the room twice, and he's still talking to the first person. He loves talking to people. He loves getting deep into the weeds with people about their issues and concerns, about their passions and ideas. So I'll come back and say hello, and then we'll go back and engage that person. And then I have to try to move him around the room so we can get to the next 3 events. It's not easy because he likes to talk to people. He likes to find out specifics. He likes to know details. He wants to know your generational history because he cares about you. And he remembers all of it too. That's the other thing. So, he remembers those things. He's a detail-oriented person. He's focused on making sure that once he hears something that he has to work on, he gets it done for people. He's the person that we really need to remember to try to train other people to be like. So listen with passion, to make sure that you are compassionate in your response and that you can be detailed in the way that you help them. So I really love this brother. He's been a godsend to our community and his time in the city council. He's been a great addition to our community in many different ways, but especially in one nice way that I'll talk about tonight, is that he's empowered so many other young people to be able to be successful as well. Following an example of other people, he's been able to mentor a lot of people and get them into other jobs in government, other jobs in the private sector dealing with government, and he's continuing to be that bridge for opportunity for people as well. So I want to thank my chief, Ar-Rahman, for honoring Councilmember Miller for his time in office. His time in our lives is not over. I'm not sure what he's going to be doing next. I know that he's got plenty of offers from people because of his intelligence, his wit, and his determination. He's going to be someone that's well sought after. So thank you again for honoring him. I said I don't feel well, so I'm going to bounce out of the room. And everyone, enjoy the rest of your holiday. Thank you all. Peace and blessings. Thank you very much.
I renege in terms of, apart from the captain from 1 and 5th, we also have our community affairs officer F. We have our 2 NCOs, Officer Vincent Devon, and we also have Nicholas Apostolo. Welcome. Apart, plus there's other members of 1 and 5th, and I also welcome you guys, and also the assistant from the chief's office. So our next speaker is he's called a technology guy. He's stepped out, so we'll have to skip him for now. But so we'll go to our city councilman, Ar-Rahman. Jamaica Avenue is the dividing line between Councilman Miller's district, and north of Jamaica Avenue is the district that Councilman Prudential. And it so happened that he's also retiring. And I don't know what's going on at City Hall, but he's also retiring, and I want to thank him. You know, I got to tell you this. You know, we probably told you before. Is a lot of our members, live in your district. The Mosses located in Councilman Mills, and a lot of our members also live there. But I lived in Queens Village for over 35 years, and I have to say, you're the first councilman in that district that paid a lot of attention to the southern part of that district. I really want to thank you. So I have a presentation for you, and on behalf of Ar-Rahman, Queensville, New York, we said this award to Councilman Daneek, New York City Council District 23rd, for his exceptional leadership and dedicated for his community.
Well, I'm grateful for this, but I'm really here for Daneek. And I want to thank you, Mo, and it's been such a pleasure to work with you and the leadership of the Queens Village community. The Queens Village is a very, very active and diverse community, and we've done a lot. We're still working on a few things. Got a meeting on the Hollis Library coming up, so maybe we can get that redone. But I came here to speak about Daneek Miller tonight, and when I drove up 99th Avenue, I noticed that they're going to be doing some construction here. There's no accident. Things just don't happen. You built a mosque here, right? Hard work, a lot of work, lots of phone calls, lots of meetings. Nothing just happens here or anywhere else. And then as I continued to drive, after I saw all the construction equipment getting ready to do work on new sewers here, I noticed that the Department of Sanitation on a 40-degree night is out there cleaning the leaves. No accident. That's because the councilman, because he pays attention to details. But I've had a unique vantage point because I've been in God knows how many meetings with this young man. And the truth of the matter is, he asked, there are people in the council that ask the obvious questions. What's it going to cost? How long is it going to take? What can we expect? But when I, Daneek Miller, start to ask questions, I always pay extra special attention. We're on the education and language committees together, but we also sit together sometimes in other meetings. He asked the questions that concern the humanity of people. He's concerned not about, we got a lot of people that are going to tell us this world or that world, they're running around. But people of faith know it's not about this. It's about this. It's about the widow, it's about the orphan, it's about all those people that need help. And when Councilman Miller asks a question at the council, it's about how we can help people. What are we doing? Why is this happening this way? And his questions are long and they're probing. And I would say there are probably more than a few bureaucrats that work for the mayor that get nervous every time he shows up at a meeting. But that's his job. We talk about comforting the afflicted and afflicting the comforted. And that's what he's done. And I'm proud to call him my friend and my brother. We are the two members of the Jamaica Avenue Caucus. And the things that we have been able to accomplish together and separately. I just had to be here tonight to say some nice things about this man because we have become brothers really from different mothers. And, you hold on to people when you can. People like this are very, very special. Senator Comrie, him and I go back 35 years. We met when I was very young. Not so young now. But I'm blessed. And one of the greatest blessings of my life is to be friends with this young man here. And I know he has meant to this community here, not just the mosque community, but the entire community that he serves. And I know that the care and the love that he shows. And I'm going to miss working with him, but this will mean we'll have more time to play golf. So I just wanted to come by tonight and say thank you for your friendship, for your dedication, and for your caring. It's about the individuals. He worries about the community at large, but I know that in his heart, he's worried about people, individual people. Some of our colleagues get a little gushy about it. He worries about the widows and he worries about the orphans. And that's why he's been so successful, and that's why he's so beloved at the council, because he cares about people. So ID, I'll see you tomorrow morning, bright and early. Bright and early. We got 2 more meetings left, and then him and I are going to go on a golf tour. So we'll find something to do. Thank you for making me a part of this evening. Thank you for this award. I want to thank our friends in blue here tonight who worked so hard, Chief Beltran and the young men and women in blue out there. We thank you. We see you. We care about you. We know the sacrifices that you have made over these past almost 2 years to keep our community safe in the midst of something that none of us hope we never see again. But I know that our communities will come back stronger and stronger, and we're going to continue to do the work with the people. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you, Councilman. Barry, I'm going to take you guys on that golf off. Now that I'm retired, I'm gonna organize it. Okay, our next, I didn't miss you. You just stepped out, so we had to go to the next person. So as I was saying, he's called it the technology guy. If kids, if you guys want to learn about blockchain and cryptocurrency, and speak to him, speak to his office. He speaks that language in Albany, and he speaks it in his office, and anytime you want to learn, he makes sure that his community is involved in this, and it's not, technology is not going to pass this community, and I really want to thank you for that. But from what I'm hearing, he might have to put the technology aside and pull those old law school textbook out. From what he said, I'm hearing that he's going to be running for Attorney General. So please get those law schools please.
First of all, good evening, everybody. Today I'm going to talk about my run for Attorney General. First of all, it feels good to be in this masjid. And Imam, when I heard your prayers, so beautiful. I didn't understand the words, but I felt the sanctity of what you were saying, and what you were singing, and what you were providing us. Thank you for providing us. So, before I talk about who we're here for, I gotta recognize all the leaders that are here. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your service. I see a bunch of folks from Queens Village Civic. I see Community Board 13, and I see a bunch of leaders here. I see Cynthia Curtin from YNS Civic. But I have to talk about NYPD, and I talk about Queens South and 105th Precinct. The police, their job is really difficult, and there's a lot that they do. But one of the things that people don't recognize is that they do a lot of jobs that they show that they take care of our families and our safety, and they work with a lot of different things. And one of the things that I've recently gone through is that my father is losing his cognitive abilities. And when that happened, he got lost a couple of times for a couple of weekends. And the first place I called was the police. On a weekend, at night, on their cell phones. And they answered. And they helped us find our dad. If anybody here is going through that, we have to make sure, and I talked to Senator Councilman, I talked to the councilman, we have to make sure that we prepare ourselves so that our community and our families are prepared for that, because that's going to be something that we're going to have to deal with and work through. And we're going to have to work through that with the NYPD, and they helped us figure out about different tracking devices, about different things that you can do to prevent this if your person gets lost. So let's make sure also, as a house of worship, that we work on those kinds of issues, because these things are very important and all of us go through it. I was afraid to talk about it. I was ashamed. But it's nothing to be ashamed about. We cannot suffer in silence. We have to share these things. But today we're here for the Daneek brother. Right? Now, when it comes to the Daneek brother, I want to talk about three things. I want to talk about integrity, I want to talk about leadership, and work. First, integrity. We've seen so much in the news with politicians getting in trouble. And we have so much stuff going on with respect to corruption, with respect to harassment. Never once have we thought about our councilperson whose integrity is beyond reproach. He's a person that carries himself with dignity in everything that he does. Sometimes people say, when you give people power, they change, or they can reveal themselves. There was no question about this brother's integrity. He is a good example for all of us. And that is something that we honor, and we praise, and we see that, and we've seen how he built and showed, and he's like a light for all of us to see. The next thing is leadership. There's no question that he's a leader. There's no question he's the councilman. But the councilman is a leader of leaders. He is the chair of one of the biggest caucuses in city council. And he is the leader of them. And when he speaks, they pay attention. Because of his integrity, because of what he does. Thank you for doing that. Lastly is work. He is a person that not only works, but he has a vision. And he puts his vision into practice. When we first met, when he first became a councilman, he said what he wanted to do, and I didn't think. And he was bold about the different things that he wanted to do. How he wanted to make sure that we have responsible development. How make sure he takes care of affordable housing. How he supports the schools. How he supports the programs. How he makes sure he understands it's all about work. It's all about, we must be able to feed ourselves and be able to have, and to be able to feed your family. He's the chair of labor to make sure that that happens. So one thing that's important, and that I'm happy that this last week does, is gratitude is important. It's important to show gratitude and to say thank you. So thank you for doing this, for saying thank you to a leader like Daneek Miller. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Bonnell. So our next speaker would be the Commanding Officer of the Queens South, Chief Ruben Waltron. Please have your seat.
Okay, I thought I was just coming here to celebrate Councilman Miller and get to thank him for his service. It's always an opportunity, it's almost like being a politician, it's always an opportunity to connect with our communities, and we take advantage of that today. I mean, we're talking about what's impacting us today is term limits, right? Term limits, I can use that as a very technical word. We're all term limited in one way, right? Our lives are, we don't know how many years we have, but they're all term limited and limited to a certain age, to a certain number of heartbeats. before we move on. And at least, I know that, I think I was discussing with one of the elected officials here, I'm term limited, I got 7 years left before my legal term in the police department hasn't come to an end. So some of the new councilmen will be replacing you, will outserve me, so those are the ideas that go through my head when I'm sitting through some of these discussions that we have in some of these celebrations. But what does that mean? Here we're celebrating a career of service, a councilman, and I have really almost a lifetime of service, followed by a lifetime of service that my father had in the police department. And I told someone else, I'm like, what that means is that I'm closer to the end of my service here in this role than I am in the beginning of that service. That just makes every day from here till the end be that much more valuable. Those opportunities, that much more interesting to me because I know that I'm not going to be able to do this forever in the same way that I'm doing it now. A lot of the police officers here are term limited by the time too, but some of them will be here, until they're forced out because they love what they do. Talk about the service that they have. We had the assembly member now talking about his experiences, us helping him and his father and his family. And we do that every day. I think one thing that we don't get enough credit for is our overall service to the community. But when it comes to the youngest of us and most vulnerable, and the oldest, in terms of, they need our protection, there's nothing that we won't do for them. If anyone has ever seen what we will do for a child that's ill, that's not breathing, that was injured, that was a victim of a crime, and seriously hurt, we treat that child like he's one of ours. We make sure we do everything that we can to make sure that family gets to see that child. So we're just speaking from a lifetime of service and someone who's term limited, like my brother, Councilman here. God bless you, thank you for your service. I know his service is not ending, until we take our last breath, we continue to serve God and what purpose He has for us. So I don't know what purpose He has for you, but I know that it will be challenging, it will be hard. I know that you'll face it with fairness and with justice, and I look forward to seeing what that is. God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. Okay, so now we have Captain of 105th or 105th Precinct. Captain, go.
Want to speak after all these great speakers. I want to say thank you to the people of this mosque, the people of this community, and of course the elected officials, Chief Beltran, and men and women in blue, for everything you guys do every day. Quran and Prophet Muhammad teaches us that people have to be humble. And it shows here today, as humility as you guys are, as Daneek Bill is leaving the office, you honor him instead of doing it when a person's coming in. So that shows a lot because, he's leaving the office and you guys are saying thank you. I want to say thank you to Daneek Bill. I've only been in this position for 16 months and we didn't get to work on a lot of issues, but I'm sure, you know what I mean? If I would have gotten there earlier, we would have worked on a lot of things and we would have done a better job at everything that we could have done. Thank you again. Thank you to Mr. Miller. Even though he's leaving and he's becoming Mr. That's what's Mr. There'll be a lot of other that we do for any of us here. So thank you.
Thank you, Captain. So we continue with some of the guests, and I'll call on. I serve in a community in Turkey, and I'm currently the treasurer of Community Turkey, but my chairman is here tonight, and so I want to invite him. Brian Block is the chairman of Community Turkey. Please.
Good evening, everyone. I just want to thank Mo, first of all, for giving me the invitation. Thank you, Iman. My first time here, but not my last. I'd like just speechless when I walked in. I mean, I've driven by the building, but I've never been here, so please invite me back again. I just want to thank all of you for being here, and I just want to give a special shout out, Councilmember. Only two things I can say: service, integrity, and another word, talent. And the worst thing you can have, folks, is wasted talent. And the one thing I can say about the Councilmember, you've not wasted your talent. You've utilized the talents that the Almighty has given you. You put them to good use. And may God continue to bless you and your family. Thank you for your service over the years. Continue serving us. And that's one thing, service. And you're not looking for anything when you're giving the service. Councilman cares about people. And I just want to, again, once again, on behalf of the neighborhood, Cambria Heights, where you and I live, Community Board 13, just thank you for what you've done. Thank you for what you're going to be doing. I don't know what it is, the Almighty may know. Well, not me, He does know, but we don't know what you're going to be doing. But I know it's going to entail not wasting your talents and doing it with integrity. May God bless you. May God bless everyone here this evening. And Mo, please invite me again. All right, because I want to get onto the prayer room. All right, but maybe that's not tonight, but maybe another time. But please, I want to come back. All right. Councilmember, Mr. Barry, who just said inspector? It's good. But you're still to name with us, Councilman. All right, so may God continue blessing you and your family. Thank you for your time, for your service. I know many times, many of you may be while you're sleeping, elected officials, I've found out being chair, you get a call in the middle of the night, you go. All right, and thank you. We should also say thank you to his better half, the boss of his house. Allowing him to go in service and not waste the talent that the Almighty has given him. Thank you, Councilman. May God bless you.
Brian, President of the Masjid, Brother Nazar, he's taking notes. You're going to make sure you're back here. Probably you'll make the space available for one of your.
Okay.
Okay, you know, a lot of us here, the member of Masjid Ar-Rahman, we're all immigrants, most of us are immigrants to the community, and as you know there's something needed in the community, over the years, we started with basement, we got to a bigger place, but we said, come on, we're all, we have to do something better than that, and so we all put our heads together, and we came up with, this is something we want, but we said, wait a minute, we have to get someone to do this stuff for us. We have to get somebody to design and come up with a concept, and how we can convert our ideas to a building, and we got some recommendation, we have to get an architect, so we scouted around, and then someone recommended a Harvard-educated architect. I said, wait a minute, we can't afford this guy. We can't hire an architect from Harvard, dedicated to Harvard. We met him, and he turned out to be the person who did this job. There's no other way. And now he's also a member of the Masjid.
Alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalam ala rasulillah. It really is a shame that we're losing my brother Daneek. I met him maybe 2 or 3 years ago, but I'm gonna let you know that I do a lot of community facility work. And, the people there, I've heard your name before I met you. So the people, you have a very, very good reputation in the community. And, they're honoring him here at National Ar-Rahman, but he should be honored probably in a lot of other communities. When they need something, or like like I just mentioned something, well, I have to be honest with my clients. It's a, well, you know, you're gonna have a problem, you might have a problem here, you might have a problem here. Jamil, don't worry. Can you call Daneek Miller? Let's get in touch with this Daneek Miller. So I've heard your name like for years, and you know, you shouldn't like take that for granted, you know, with your representatives. Because there's the other guys too. And, you know, I say, okay, you know, why don't you talk to your councilman? And you call up and you're speaking to their staff. You never see the guy. And you do see him. You see him when it's time for election. He's standing there smiling at your face, you know, at the subway, you don't want to shake your hand and that sort of thing. But then when he gets into office, you call him up and like, okay, speak to my staff. I mean, staff is great. But, you know, I mean, you know, when you're dealing with the Department of Buildings or, you know, they really respect you. You know, when Carmen walked in the room or, you know, they call directly, they start to jump. When the staff come, they say, oh, you know, they give them a run. So knowing, you know, this is really, really a real professional person has to know that. And I really want to thank you very, very much because I really appreciate that because I've seen in my profession, I've seen most of the leadership, most of them, I'm sorry to say, most of them have, you know, they're just not good. There are very few leaders in the city, in the state, and in the country that really, if it wasn't for them, we would have a terrible society. So thank you very much for you, Daneek Miller, and the few other leaders in our community, especially politicians who really, really are sincere. Like you said, they are upright, sincere, and they really care about the community more than they care about themselves. Thanks very much.
Thank you, Benjamin. I'm the president of Queens Village Civic, and it's actually north of Jamaica. But we also there's a civic for this district here, which is south of Jamaica. The president is here, and it's called the Wayanda Civic. So Cynthia Portman is the president, so please. Please. I'm not sure, I know we invited Councilmember-elect Natasha Williams, but I'm not sure she's here.
Good evening, everyone. I'm glad to be here to celebrate this gem in our community. My name for him is the other king of Queens. I've been calling him that for many years. And as most of you now know, he is truly the king of Queens because of his service to Queens, and not just to our community, but to the entire Queens and beyond. So, Councilman, we thank you for your service, sir. And, you know, when you retire, then the real work begins. Okay, so thank you, sir.
Thank you, Cynthia. Myself and Cynthia does a lot of work in the community. A couple of weeks, actually last week, we were visiting, we had a tour of the new women's shelter that's going to be established on 280th Street. And you know, we have to be active. We want to make sure it's run properly and it's not right. You know, it doesn't have a negative impact on the community. I want to thank you, Cynthia, for the work that you're doing. Also, we have couple person that you know very much, I, Daneek Miller, Councilman. So I'll call, before we get to our president, Nazar Mustafa, we want to call two friends in the community that you know well. So I'll call on first someone that you serve on the board with at the Royal Wilkins Park. So Shafi Ramjan, want to have a say, please?
Thank you very much for the opportunity. Ar-Rahman. I believe in God, most gracious, most merciful. All praise and thanks to Almighty God, and peace and blessings on the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Indeed, it's a pleasure to be here this evening in such distinguished company. The police officers, we thank you for your services that you've given to our community and our various masjids. We do look forward to those services again in the future, and all the community leaders, or imams, or president, and everyone. It's indeed very, a great honor to be here to share this moment. And as someone said earlier, he is leaving office, but yet we are honoring him, and that means a lot. It says a lot of the person. Usually, when someone is leaving, it's like, okay, he or she is gone, like, okay, big deal, right? But no, this is the instance of where we are honoring someone with integrity. I think the Senator Connery mentioned earlier, I believe, that, or someone else, that in politics, sometimes politicians get caught up in the system and they become corrupt, or somehow else they do not function as they should. I think Daneek Miller, for the past 8 years, he has served with such distinction. No one can point a finger against him in any of those areas. And he left a great job. I know he has had a background in trade unions, where he could have been much, much bigger in terms of money and position by now, but he chose to serve the people. And I personally served with him in South Queens Park Association. And I can tell you, he made time to come to the board meetings, the quarterly board meetings, to sit there very passionately. And we've had side discussions to talk about what's going on in the community in South Queens. So I see that part of him. And he is dedicated in that respect to serve the people. So we will miss you, Councilman. And we hope and pray that, whatever you choose to do in life, that God bless you with good health and good strength, and to give you a position that you can really utilize your resources that you have accomplished for the past years. And I do look forward to serve with you in some other capacity in somewhere in the South Queens area. So I thank you very much. May God bless us all.
There's a group that has been doing a lot of humanitarian work in the community, especially over the last, I dealt with them a lot over the last couple of years during the pandemic. They're distributing food everywhere, and we have been going to 160th Street collecting boxes and shops of food to distribute. And there's no other than the Islamic Council, ICNA, it's called, referred to ICNA. We have Representative Mufid Siddiqui, so please have us say.
Ar-Rahman, 3 minutes, and I will finish by 3 minutes. First of all, I am not a good speaker. I don't have the words of choice, but some of the words already my teacher, Imam Vitu, I want to start in the same way, but he start as Professor Allah says. So if you are not thankful of the person, you are not thankful of Allah. So we are here to thank you, and we are here to thank this masjid. I will start first thanking for this masjid. They are always nice with us, especially Nareef, Alhamdulillah. As you know, Nareef is one of the largest Islamic organizations. We are doing charity work within America. We have 36 chapters, and we are working in more than 300 cities and so many states. We also have a shelter home in 144 inside avenues for only for 8 families, and 1 is for single sisters.
So, and because of this shelter, this area is now nice. So, if you treat them well, they will respond well. So, shelter is not a bad thing in your delivery. You have to deal how you deal with this. And the second thing I want to thank you for this masjid. Because of that, we need help, like financial help, and we are doing, charity work. So, alhamdulillah, this masjid, I go to different masajid. This masjid, they open their arm. When I came and I requested, we want to do fundraising, and I see it's the most welcoming masjid, and Brother Nizam in his door, and even opening his donation box. I came to Friday, he give all his donation of Friday's donation. So I few times seen this same, mashallah. So I want to thank you this masjid. And we are working together, and you can say Brother Nizam, he drove every week on his car, he filled his truck with the food, because he's doing for this community. Can you believe the person every week, cold, and it's hot weather, cold weather, but he's always there for this, it's not for him, it's for this community. Thank you, Brother Nizam. And Brother Daneek, it's like, no, we give you for a few days. So now we see that. So it's always nice to bring now. And we always consider him as a ICNA family. And he supports ICNA Leaf, he supports ICNA as a bigger organization, he supports ICNA, and his is masjid. Alhamdulillah, whenever we need him, usually people they ask, please do this for us. But he always what I can do for you. This is the personality of Brother Daneek. And also for some assembly members is here, or council members is here, their constituency is only their area. But because of his unique position, it's the first ever Muslim elected to be council member. His constituency was whole New York. And he, whenever any Muslim issue, he's the one who raised the voice. And people, when they need help in the Muslim community, anywhere, they call him, and he never says no. Thank you, Daneek. So, my last one is Brother Daneek. You were the one who started with a new history. Whenever we wrote the history of Muslim in America, his name will be always in the top because he's the first elected city council member ever. So thank you very much. And I hope it's not, people are saying goodbye. No, it's not leaving anywhere. It's just, this is position only. I hope and pray for beginning of the new journey for him, and inshallah everything will be better. Thank you very much. Thanks.
Okay, we're coming to the end. We'll bring our president on, and after that we'll have the councilman speak now. But I have a friend of him. He's worked with a lot of community work with him. He's currently at the Queensborough President's office. Mohammed Haq, you want to? Ray, I know you took some time off from the busy schedule. Thank you for being here.
Assalamu alaikum to those of other denomination. May the peace and blessing of God Almighty be with all of us. This evening is a very special evening, and it could never have been better to honor a great soul, a great individual in our community. I first want to thank the executive of Masjid Ar-Rahman for taking that opportunity and recognizing my brother, Daneek Miller. I want to also acknowledge all the NYPD. Most of them are my friends. Few knew one I didn't meet before. But I ask everyone in the community, remember when these gentlemen and ladies are out there working, they're leaving their family, putting their lives on the line to protect us. And whenever we see them, always reach out. And a handshake means a lot to them, and thanking them for their service. Next is, behind every great man, there is a great woman. And that great woman sits right over there. I have known her since I know Councilman Daneek when he was running. And he has given him relentless support so that he could serve us. My brother, I always remember that you will be in council meeting and I call you and you will answer your phone. You're a great leader. You have done everything for humanity, everything for community. You're never too busy for your community. And may God bless you. I know we had Robert Jackson representing the Muslims, but he was from Manhattan. And you never hear him extended beyond Manhattan South. He's my friend too, but that's the fact. But Councilmember Daneek Miller represented the Muslim community and every other faith with distinction right across this city. And he always finds time to get things done. There are times when the park is giving a hard time for the e-pray. And you call Councilmember Daneek Miller, and with a phone call, and it's ready. Go ahead. I'll take care of it. And that's the quality this man possesses. My beloved friend, my beloved brother, you're exceptional. You will always be remembered. And we'll always be friends until the end of time. You have exemplified. I have watched you started in city council, running for the office when Leroy Connery, my good brother, was also with you. And you have taken that path. And today I think, at the end of this month, I really think you will leave a shoe that no one can fill. Anyone after you will just have to try. But that shoe is too big. You have done tremendous for the community and for the people at large, for every faith. You never sidetrack no one. And we also have two great chiefs in Queens, Chief Beltran and Chief Frierson. They are the two best chiefs that I have interacted with so far. So we have to be thankful for great people that we have working for our community within this work. With those few words, I say thank you, my brother, for your service, and we look forward. We have our own chit-chat privately sometime coming up. But good luck on your future endeavor. Anything I can be of help for you, I'm here. I do not roam too much, but the voice is still good and the phone line still works. Thank you very much.
We have many of the executive trustee here. You guys want to stand up, treasurer or secretary, Iqbal, please, Ansar, like to please stand up. Thank you, President. Before I bring my president, I'll call on my good friend here, Ray Rizwan, to have us a short.
Thank you, Arnold, members of the head table, our guests of honor, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. A lot has been said and I'll be brief. New wind is blowing across the city, a new wind is blowing across the state, a new wind is blowing across the country. There are a lot of opportunities for people of color and minorities. As an owner of a minority business enterprise, certified 2 businesses, I'm telling you there are a lot of things happening. And this could not have happened without the help of our elected officials. They have fought city, state, federal to get us where we have to be. A lot of work still to be done, but those of you in this room, there are a lot of opportunities. Councilman, you will always remember, you will always be a councilman. My interaction with you at this masjid, during your term as a councilman, we got our certificate of occupancy. I'm Thank you for that. There's a saying, when one door is closed, another door is open. My saying, when one door is closed, 100 doors are open. So I said to you, do I hear Deputy Mayor? I don't know what I'm hearing. Almighty God knows. All the best to you. Thank you all very much. Thank you both for this opportunity.
Thank you, Honorable. We have a good friend here. I didn't realize he's sneaking here. Al-Kamil, he worked very hard in the community. He was one of the candidates to replace Daneek Miller. But I know you're a good friend. Please, have a second, please.
He's not going nowhere. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi. Councilman Daneek Miller. Councilman Miller is my big brother. And who I am today is because of this man. I have worked with every single elected official in Southeast Queens. This man is an exceptional man. And I say that because we live in a society where there's so many challenges for our community, whether it's police or infrastructure. There's so much I learned working with Councilman Miller that has to do with infrastructure. Many of us, sometimes we sit there and say, oh, we want housing, we want more development. And that's what we ask for. But there are other things that request that we're making comes with. Who talks about the sewer line? That you want to build 200 housing? Fine. Well, now let's talk about sewer lines. Let's talk about garbage pickup. Let's talk about parking. I was one of those folks that just said, listen, just give us a house. But Councilman Miller talked with so many of us what comes with some of the requests we make. And he taught us how to fight to bring those change. I've seen this man fight for this community in a way that I've never seen before. When I attempted to run, when I said I was wanting to succeed him, I knew that was a big shoe. I knew that was a shoe that would be very, very challenging. But I believe that his love for this community would have helped me. His love for this work that needs to be done in this community will help whoever wins that, whoever got that seat. That's what I used to say then. To make sure that the work continues in a way that you and I, as the resident of this community, do not suffer because he leaves. He's leaving, but he's still going to be here. There's so much work that needs to be done, so much work that he needs to complete. He cannot leave us. If he leaves, we won't find him. We won't bring him right back. But as you all know, he's a God-believing faith, God-believing somebody. He's somebody who believes that we all need better, we all need to grow. He believes that whether you're an immigrant or you're not, whether you were born here yesterday or last year, whether you came here today or last year or wherever, we are all the same. He believed in that. And in that belief, with that belief, I'm certain that we are going to be doing more great things together with this man, wherever he goes. We should be grateful for having him and be happy that he's living to something else, because now, wherever he goes, he's going to be more for us. I believe, I can't tell you where he's going, because I don't know, but I believe he's going to go somewhere big, and we are all going to be doing great. All right? Councilman Miller, we thank you. I thank you for your service. I thank you for everything you taught me. I thank you for calling me your brother. I'm just a kid from West Africa, and this man take care of me like I was just his son. Thank you for everything.
Thank you all. Thank you. Nice seeing you. Okay, so now, our leader, Ar-Rahman, is our president. Nazar Mustafa. He's very active in the community. I know he's on the one of the fifth community council, but he's very, if he's not home, he's here. He's always here, because we have a big facility to run, and he's dedicated his time, and he comes from a family of service. His father was served in Islamic Jamaat back home, and I'm so happy to be his cousin. So I want to introduce our president, Azam Mustafa.
Our honored guest, Daneek Miller, honored leaders of the community. Masjid Ar-Rahman wanted to take time to honor a man who has served with integrity, lead with courage, and act with love in his heart for the citizens of our community. A gentleman who executed the duties of his high office with dignity and honor. A man who conducted himself quietly, kindly, and diligently. A man who partnered with us over the years to do many commendable acts in this community. I believe that when the history books of Queens will be written, it will speak well of Daneek Miller. What he done during the time of COVID-19, the food pantries he set up, the churches and the mosques that he visited, the streets and the avenues that he walked, the many community projects he embraced and solidly supported. You know, Daneek, Nelson Mandela once said that where there is darkness, you be the light. For the citizens of this community, Daneek, you were the light. When you assumed this role, you did so, Daneek, with a conviction to give back to this community, the country in which you live. Daneek, you understand that servicing others enriches the giver's soul, and you did serve well. Public service is noble and necessary. You understood that. The late Mahatma Gandhi said, be the change you want to see. You made change in this community, my friend. Maya Angelou said something wonderful. She said, people will forget what you said. People will forget what you did. But people will never forget how you made them feel. You made us feel very special here, my friend. When you came on Fridays, when you came in Ramadan, when you brought the new mayor here, and when we called on you, you made us feel very special. To our friend Al-Kanu, let me deviate a little. Failure is a part of living a full life. Never be defined by failure. Setbacks can be strengthened. It is our failures and struggles that define us, not our successes. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight, I want to say how blessed and honored we feel at Masjid Ar-Rahman to have done this for a gentleman who truly deserved this. I want all of you to put your hands together for my cousin Mo Ismail, who is one of the founding members of this Jamaat. And when we started this project, I recommended him to be the head of this project. And the board went along with that, and he did a great job. And I commend him for what he also does in the community, apart from serving this masjid with distinction. So, Mahmoud, I really wish to thank you very much. Tonight, I also want to say that I'm meeting Mr. Beltran for the second time. But something he said that registered in my heart. He came here about 2 years ago, and then I met him a few months ago. And then he said, oh, that masjid, you guys treated me so well. And the food was delicious. I want to come again. And so when we talked about this function, I said, I must get him here. So I want to welcome him and to thank him for coming. So all of you who are here, I want all of you to join with me in thanking, I say, my friend here, Colonel, the officer for the 105th, a gentleman who knows every street and every avenue. I was open with him. I attended meetings, and when you mentioned about Springfield and this avenue, the guy knows it. And for his dedication and his commitment to this community, sir, I want to thank you and your officers for all this support. So the time is far gone. I told Mo that we want to make it. We have lots of delicious food that we like everyone to enjoy. But before I invite the Councilman to respond, I would like to ask my son and Sar if he can please come up and present on behalf of all of us here. This plaque, Ar-Rahman, Queens Village, New York, presents this award to Councilman Daneek, New York City Council District 27, for his exceptional leadership and dedicated services to the community, December 8, 2021. Ask Ansar to make the presentation.
I'd just like to say thank you for everything you've done for the community and for the mosque. We really appreciate it. And during the height of COVID, I really got a chance to really get to know Daneek and work well with him. And I really look forward to a continued working relationship with you. We're always here for you. We'll always be here for you. Just give us a ring. So yeah, as a token of my appreciation, I'd like to give this to you. I wish you nothing but continued success in all future endeavors. Thank you.
So, ladies and gentlemen, lastly, I want to thank our distinguished Imam, Dr. Sheikh Rafiq Mohammed. I want to also welcome all from the community, Wood 30, the Civic Association, all of you who are coming for the first time. And yes, my friend, this will not be the first. You will be back again. Please feel free. I want to let the Civic Association, the community board, or the politicians know that this place is available for you guys. When we thought of this place, we thought of a soup kitchen, partner with the community. You may not be my brother and sister in faith, but you're my brother and sister in humanity. And Islam teaches us, don't put any personal religion down, don't antagonize anyone, don't criticize and condemn anyone. And that is what this course is about. Again, I want to thank Dr. Sheikh Rafiq Mohammed for his distinguished leadership, Ikna, and all of you who are here, the members of my board, of course, my trustees, my executives, all the brothers who work hard on Iqbal and all the names that you heard who make this possible. I want to thank all of you. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor and privilege to invite our dear friend, Daneek, in inviting him. I offer solemn prayer in my heart that God, let this man continue to serve us in a higher office so that we can continue to reap the benefits that we so richly deserve. Daneek, please.
I'm absolutely overwhelmed, and I wake up every day and my doors are simply the strength to serve, and that my service is pleasing to Allah. You never know. You just don't know when you serve. You don't know. You know what's in your heart, but you don't know if you're being impactful. You don't know if what you're doing is just the right thing. And sometimes we have to learn, as you said, to be able to say it to each other. And so that it's sort of the affirmation of the word and the blessings that have been bestowed upon us to serve God's people. And I pray that we've been able to do that and that we continue to be able to do that. But I say each and every day that my success is never my success. First of all praises is due to Allah and what He has bestowed and given me. And what I know when we talk about leadership is recognizing the talents of those around you. And when people call me, they call the office, first of all, staff is great. My staff, they're just great because they do the service. But we're calling on others, and that is everybody in this room. Let me start by thanking my wonderful bride for who allows me to do this work. But it is folks in this room that we pick up the phone and we call all the time. And so, Master Ar-Rahman has been a real part of this journey. And it's not by accident. I remember 9 or 10 years ago, when construction first began here, and Senator then Councilman Montgomery brought me here, and you know, I knew a few of the brothers from the Luma, but didn't have a real relationship, and we watched it grow. But at that moment, I knew that if I was blessed to be elected, that we were going to have a real working relationship, that this was going to be the headquarters, that this was going to be an incubator for where great things happen in our community. It has become that. For your leadership, thank you for your support, your guidance. Shady, thank you for your guidance, your leadership, your mentorship. And what can we say about Mo? You know, there's a lot of conversation about me being the lone Muslim member of the city council. But look what we've been able to do on our team to support our home, our community. Hey, Mr. Khan, of the Muslim Police Society, and by being, that's my other young brother there. It's so good to see you. But what we were able to do, whether it's the Eid holidays that allow our young children to not have to choose between their education and their faith, is the halal meal, and just how we recognize our own now. And it's not me, a single lone Muslim member, but it is the Darryl Lynch's and the other 50 members of the council that decide that it was worthy of their vote to make this the law. Me being able to represent the Ummah in a way that you have, how you have ingratiated and incorporated this mosque with the community at large, providing critical resources and services, not just to the members of the mosque, but the entire community. Human and social services, food insecurities, healthcare. Like, where else are we going to go? We don't have a community center here. This has to be the multi-purpose center, and it has become that multi-purpose center. So I want to thank you. I want to thank you for that, for the service that you provide, and that you continue to provide, and the service that you will provide in the future. Queens Village City, what can we say? Thank you for the work that you have done. Thank you for the work that you continue to do. And the same with Wayne. Wayne was the first city that I was introduced to many years ago when Willie Bush had come in. That was my introduction to community service here in Queens as a very young person. And of course, Muhammad Hat, who was the person who introduced me to Masjid and many others here in the community. Thank you, brother, for friendship, and your guidance, and the guidance that you continue to have. And so as I look at the back of the Officer Apps, and there's so many stories that we tell in our young lives when we used to play ball, and when I drove a bus out of Queens Village Depot over there, and we had this basketball tournament. And then one year it was getting a little small, so we decided that we was going to bring in 105th instead of the NYPD, and then we decided to bring in the sanitation department, and now they're winning the tournament every year, and we're not even advancing, so we had to put them to the side. But we go back a long, long way in service. And he could be anywhere doing a lot of other things, and he decided to stay here and serve his community, so thank you, sir. And that doesn't happen by accident or chance, it takes leadership. Thank you to the leadership for supporting the young officers and supporting your staff and allowing the workforce to be all that they can be in serving the community. It's been a great journey. And yeah, we have, and you know, I'm not easy to get along with. Maybe easy to get along with, but not easy at all times to work with, right? Because we're demanding as you're demanding. We know that our community has certain expectations. And, you know, it takes a teamwork to make the dream work. And as I said, my success is inexplicably tied to each and every person in this room and beyond. There's no personal successes here. There is no eyes in this. It is what we have done together, what we continue to do. As I look at my community board chair, civic chair, and my good friend and neighbor, Brian Brock, thank you for all that you do. And that guy behind you, give me a better view. That is our guy. Sergeant Clark is our guy. He's supposed to be my personal bodyguard, but I show up everywhere before he is. So half the time, we go weeks and months at a time without seeing him, but always talking. But he's always there working with and for our community, and particularly the job that you do with our cadet corps and our young people. Thank you for that. So, you know, in Islam, in the faith, the primary tenets are charity and service. And there is no service, there's no task that is too big or too small. Councilman, why do you sleep in front of your office every day? John Tyson take the broom out of my hand every day, right? Why do you know, the same reason why I run through the neighborhood every day, because I want us to be the healthiest community in the entire city. That's why we have not just food, but fresh produce and healthy foods right here in our community. But it's also that you want to be by example. It's a simple thing. It's a councilman that can sweep up, and not just in front of the office, but the block each and every day. Then the stores, the shop owners, and other folks can do it. If I can run through the neighborhood as much as I can with the back and the neck, then we can do those things as well. But what we do collectively is what's important. I just want to thank the leadership team once again here at Ar-Rahman for valuing the service that we have provided. Certainly, it is just the grace and the blessing of God that allowed me to do that. That gives me the strength, that gives me the courage to serve, and that's just it. This is something, I'll be honest, you know, the senator said it, and I don't talk about it, but you know, my wife, she doesn't talk about it, but I'm sure that there's some internal rumbles about the significant pay cut that we took to be able to do this work, right? But being the negotiator that I am, the first year we were in the council, we negotiated the pay rate, so we kind of made up for that. But this service has to do it for free, right? So if I have the honor and the privilege of joining the board here, or returning to the board at the Civic, or, you know, in my heart, in my own human heart, if you ask me, particularly last month, many of us had this conversation about what are you going to do. You know, I'm going to enjoy my years of leisure. In some capacity, I've worked for the city of New York and government here in the state for 38 years. My entire adult life, I've only worked for the city and state. So, should I go sit down and work on my golf game, was the thought, or continue to be district leader, which is something that I will focus on as a Democratic district leader for this community. Adjuncting is close to my heart, being able to nurture and cultivate the next generations of leaders. And that young man over there is so absolutely special. I love him. To be so proud of him. And what we know is that not just in our community, the future is bright. Sometimes it's woe is me when we start talking about our young folks, but when we look around and we must be watching television and not actually on the ground and having conversations and engaging our young people. Because when you get out and you see that this is our community, this is our future. Thank you, sir. Thank you. You should be very proud. So, you know, and I thought maybe I'll go back to that, a little adjunct, and that would be it. But I would say, and that in my own human way, in my human mind and space, that's my plan. And I know that Allah has plans that are greater than mine. And I simply say that my heart and my mind is open to receive whatever He has next for me. And whatever that is, I will gratefully and graciously receive it. But the fact is that I truly believe that it will be some level of service to the Ummah and to the broader community. So I just want to say thank you. And I also want to say that my hope was simply, as a Muslim in the city and in the community, that I look at our Ummah and what we look like. And oftentimes here now, we are, the Muslim community is an immigrant community. It is not necessarily some of the African American Muslim community that it was 30 years ago here in the city, and with the Islamophobia and the things that were happening, I was hoping that how we carry ourselves, how I carry myself specifically, made it seamless for people to accept their new neighbors, to accept Islam, and allow you to do the work that you do for the greater humanity that you're doing now. My prayer is that we were able to do that we continue to do that, to make it more seamless for people to accept and receive who we are. And with that, I thank you all. I'm absolutely humbled and overwhelmed. As I said, this is not what I was expecting. But I'm so grateful. I'm so absolutely grateful that I don't know how to receive this. I'm grateful, I'm honored. It's just not what I expected. Great work. Great work. And everybody in this room, like, you guys know, I'm calling on them. I just, you know, when the community's in need, I call each and every one of these organizations in the room, and you guys, we collectively make it happen. We are together serving God's people. So thank you again. Peace and blessings.
Thank you, Councilman. You know, Masjid Ar-Rahman is always here for you. You open your arms, you could use this as a base, you could use, you will need your help. You know, and we're always open our door for you, so you could make this masjid a real community center and a real service to this community. Please join us. I want to acknowledge Officer Kayoum. We recognize you with that mosque here. And my friend Asim, I know you're very active in the community. Thanks for coming. Thanks everyone for coming. And I really have to thank the 105th. You guys really turn up. And I really, please help yourself. I gotta thank my wife for allowing me to do so please help yourself with a lot of dinner. Make yourself comfortable. Tired, not yet.